Welcome back to Season 2 of Walk It Off with Riley Anslinger, the podcast celebrating the incredible journeys and perseverance of women in sports. Last episode, we talked about Ben and other athletes overcoming physical challenges. Today, we are going to look at COVID year. This episode, I will bring on special guests Emily Wiebe and Josie Kremzar. They both had an interesting freshman year of soccer at the University of Evansville because of COVID.
Hey everybody, my name's Josie Kremzar. I'm a senior on the University of Evansville soccer team. I'm currently retired. And me and Wiebe had our freshman year being our COVID year. And we definitely had some challenges and some differences to what a normal sports year is like. Wiebe, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I am Emily Wiebe. I'm also a senior on the women's soccer team and am currently retired as well. It was definitely very interesting coming in our freshman year. Our season was obviously pushed back from the fall to the spring. So we came in and probably for the first month or two, we had social distance practices, which is very interesting for soccer as a sport itself. It's very contact.
Yep.
But it was very interesting to kind of build a team dynamic in an environment where you had to social distance. We couldn't really build that team bond. There were so many rules and we had to stay in our bubble. And our bubble was, I think it was soccer.
It was literally just our team, I think. So like even men's soccer we weren't really supposed to hang out with. So like it really was awkward when some people were dating other people on different sports teams because technically they weren't in our bubble. So like
I think we had like 4 or 5 people dating people on the baseball team and we like weren't allowed to hang out.
Yes. And then like even in staying in dorms, if I wanted to go into another girl in my class's dorm, I couldn't go in there. I would get in trouble with the RA. You're only allowed to have one other person in there that's not the roommate and you had to have a mask on.
Yeah, it was insane rules. And then even that first year, I think it was every week we had to do COVID tests.
Yeah, we were COVID tested every week until everybody was vaccinated? Or did it not matter if you were vaccinated?
No, I don't think it mattered if you were vaccinated until maybe it was in the spring or it was in the fall of our sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then like if you were vaccinated and had the correct boosters, you were able to, I guess,
like not get tested.
Yeah, not get tested.
Yeah.
And people still had to be tested, I think like 2 or 3 times a week if you're unvaccinated.
Yeah. I think it was random testing that they had us do.
They did do random.
Yeah. So
I'm convinced it wasn't random because I got picked like 4 times.
Yeah. And then like for our season, we're a fall sport. So we ended up playing in the spring and we only had 7 games.
Yeah, we had 7 games, and I remember one game.
Or 11 games or something like that.
I think it was only 7 or 8. It was like
crazy.
Way different. And then Drake, when we went and played Drake, we had to get the game pushed back because their players got out of quarantine at 4 p.m. that day.
Crazy.
So they literally went right from quarantine to the game, and they all practiced in masks.
Yeah. So I think like COVID definitely affected us with like making friends for sure, just because technically you weren't really supposed to hang out with anyone else from other teams or in other grades. So it was really different. And we weren't supposed to party. Like couldn't really go out and hang out with other teams in a group, which was also kind of weird. Because that's kind of what everyone does their freshman year, gets to know everyone, makes their friend group and stuff. And it was definitely different. But so what was it like in high school, Riley, for your senior year?
Yeah, it was pretty bad considering it was my senior year and I just wanted to go out with a bang. But for soccer and basketball, we only got limited amount of tickets, so that kind of sucked because I wanted like all my friends and family to be there for my senior year. And I remember for basketball, when I hit my 1,000 points, my boyfriend at the time wasn't able to be there because he was also on the basketball team and one of the guys like had COVID and didn't tell anybody until I forgot what happened, but they found out. So they all had a quarantine and it was pretty bad. I had me and my sister each got like 2 tickets because she was also on the team. So like we were able to have more people than usual, but like it also sucked because I was a senior and I wanted as many people there as possible.
Did you have What did you have COVID for basketball and soccer?
Yeah, it was the whole year.
So, like, what were those practices like? Did you have to wear a mask?
Yeah, we had to wear masks while practicing. It was pretty terrible because, trying to breathe and sweat with a mask.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, I think we had to lift in masks, which was horrible.
Bad.
It was so hot.
Yeah, we left it in mass for at least like a year and a half.
Yes.
I think we also weren't allowed to be around people more than what was the time? There was a time limit. You couldn't be around more than, you don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I think we only had the 6 foot distance.
Okay. It might have been that is what I'm thinking of, but we had to do drills based on that. We couldn't.
Oh,
Our passing patterns, because that's all we could.
Had to stay so far.
yes.
6 feet apart.
We couldn't do contact for a little bit because technically that wasn't 6 feet apart.
Yeah, it was terrible. I also kind of had it going into my freshman year of college at IU.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad, but we still.
People are still wearing masks. Yeah.
Now it's kind of gone.
Yeah. It's definitely different. It's different now. Because I remember we wore masks our sophomore year in Ridge and stuff in classes.
Yeah, we had to wear it in classes, and still I know some teachers in the engineering department, they still wear masks.
My professors do sometimes too. What were your classes like?
I was about to say, I remember our desk being far apart and we had to sit away from people, which was really weird.
Did you have in-person classes every single day?
No, we were actually mostly virtual, which I forgot to mention that, which was great because I was a senior and I wanted to just be home and not go to school. But
senioritis,
yeah,
doing you right.
Sucked for sports though.
Oh yeah.
So I'd be doing school at home virtually and then I'd go to practice, which was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's how my senior year was, but it was halfway through my senior year.
Yeah.
So it was only my last trimester that everything was online. But then when we came here, I was lucky, and just because it was I had a lot of science and math classes, they had those in person, but it was so hard to learn when all you're doing is trying to focus on a video lecture.
Yes, agreed. And also, for us, our senior year, we missed all the fun stuff at the end of the year, which sucked. I didn't get a prom or graduation.
Yeah, I think I got a prom either, actually.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
I got a graduation and they called me by the wrong name.
Elder Grace Eve.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I walked across the stage.
Yeah. But yeah, other than for sports specifically, it was definitely weird. We were basically practicing with no games in sight anytime.
Yeah.
The whole fall was just practice. So it was definitely depressing for sure.
I was worried about if we were going to have our game or not because of COVID. If someone on the team got it, then that team was supposed to be quarantined and
yeah,
couldn't play them.
You're screwed.
Yeah, I think the hardest part was definitely mentally trying to get through it. Not being able to be close to anyone. Our parents would come and the rule was we couldn't go by our parents when they came. And I live 8 hours away from home, so I couldn't even see my parents. And then I couldn't make friends with my school people. And then everyone was scared about how, your body would react if you got COVID. It was just, a bunch of what ifs that just, mentally made it so hard to go to practice when you knew that you just have to sit in your dorm room after and, have no social interaction, not be able to see your family, and, worry about getting COVID because we, didn't know a lot at that point.
Yeah, I am mono for our team, too.
Did you guys ever have COVID? I actually had it my freshman year at IU, and I had every single symptom there was. But luckily, I got to go home instead of being stuck in a random dorm by myself at IU.
For me, my roommate tested positive for COVID, and I had to leave anyways. I had to go because she tested positive, but I didn't get any symptoms. And both of my parents got it Christmas Eve, and I never got it from them either.
It's terrible. I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it until 2 years ago. We visited my cousin in Florida over Christmas, and she had it, and then I came back and almost passed out trying to work in my grocery store just so that I got to see that.
My mom had it the summer before my senior year of soccer, and I was so mad at her because I couldn't do anything, and it was my senior year. But I eventually forgave her. It's okay.
That's so sweet of you.
I know.
And I love it.
She low-key did that on purpose.
It's messed up.
Yes, she did. Thank you for joining us today in our 3rd episode of Season 2. Today we talked about COVID and how it affected Josie and Emily their freshman year of college and my senior year of high school. We learned how COVID not only affected us physically, but also mentally. This podcast is produced by Student Media. Student Media is a student organization at the University of Evansville. Student Media produces the Crescent magazine published online and in print 3 times a semester. Student Media produces several podcasts and utilizes design, photography, video, and sound towards experiential and academic learning and journalistic endeavors and engaging storytelling. Student Media elevates the voice of the student body and connects the campus and community to important information and points of view. To learn more, visit crescent.evansville.edu.